Hi guys, I'm at the International 2014 playoffs. I'm joined here by Fnatic's Hani. And so we're end of day one now. You guys have played 5 games today, you're 3-2 up. How was the day in kind of like a nutshell for you guys?
I mean, overall we're happy that we ended up with a positive score for the first day. We knew it was going to be one of the harder days, like just on paper against the teams we played. It's unfortunate we couldn't beat Norway, which we really hoped to win against, or like we thought at first it was one of the easier opponents, but yeah, we managed to beat 3 of the probably strongest teams in the world, and yeah, we're glad that it got this far on the first day.
It seems to be a day of like crazy results across the board. Like in the Narvi game, like what was it in particular that caused you to lose that one?
The Narvi game, I think first off, they had really good lanes. The draft was very solid, and we kind of fell off our idea on how we would run heroes, or we weren't actually comfortable with who was running what, and that kind of resulted in the poor performance.
I mean, how do you even like prepare for best of ones like this?
Well, we have a strat book with 15 strats, and then we choose one.
You roll the dice and then you pick one?
You have like some kind of feeling what strat can be good against what team, and then you go for it.
So are you kind of a fan of the best of one setup they have here? Obviously, it's you've got 16 teams. There's not really much else you can do. Do you not mind the best of one? Do you think that plays to your advantage?
I think that the best of one favors us. We haven't had much practice with Era, but we can still play solid, and it's like kind of a roller coaster for us. But yeah, for more stable teams, just like Navi, DK, Newbie, it's going to be a lot harder to take a BO3. So yeah, for us particular, the BO1 is favorable, and I mean, I like it for that reason. Yeah.
So let's talk about that roller coaster a little bit. When did you guys actually last physically play with Era in like a practice game or like before the international?
So we were bootcamping with Excalibur until like a week ago, and then we had 4 practice days with Era, and we did not do that great on the first 2 days, but it turned out better than expected in the 3rd and 4th days. Like we've been playing for so long together, so obviously something has to work, and I'm very happy that in the end we actually performed better than I expected after having a break of over a month.
After this crazy situation, is it a bit of a relief that you guys have been able to fall back into kind of like an old role with Era and work together as strongly as a team?
Yeah, I mean it's overall I would say we kind of changed it up a bit. Like, for me in particular, I play like everything. There's like not one role I don't play. Maybe hard support. I don't really buy wards. But apart from that, like Adrian is not just stuck on the hard carry. I think it's actually a meta that fits him better because he's very strong on strength heroes. So yeah, I think overall it's good the way it is.
I mean, in terms of like storyline, I imagine your situation is probably one of the craziest ones that an international has ever seen. Is there anything you guys, kind of regret or wish you did differently leading up to the international?
Before?
Yeah, leading up in terms of the whole situation with Era and Valve.
I don't think it's very unfortunate for us as the 4 players, but just like it's unfortunate for Adrian. No one obviously wants that to happen to anyone, and there was no chance for us to really change it, so we make the best out of it. Like, the rules are given, and I understand Wolf's decision as well, because it would make everything more unstable, and then yeah, it's an unlucky situation, and we're just trying to make the best out of it.
Right, now sticking to the positives, seeing a team like Liquid, who came through the wild cards, defeat like Newbie, DK, EG today. Does that guys give you like a huge boost of confidence, or does it just go to show like how unexpected this situation is right now in terms of international?
I would say, in a way, it is somewhat unexpected. I think if you ask any of the 5 Liquid players, so how do you think you will do against DK? Are you sure you're going to win against them? and they would tell you no, we are not confident. For sure, but it also shows that the BO1 format is maybe not the most optimal to figure out who's the best team in the world. So yeah, I mean it's rough, but it's not unexpected. I think not that unexpected.
Okay. And in terms of the format, obviously the group stage this year, it's no longer kind of like a safety net for teams. We're obviously going to see teams eliminated before the main event. Do you actually prefer that kind of situation, or would you rather to see every team at the main event?
I mean, you kind of have to cut it down at one point. So you want to get to the 8 teams, and if it's 8 teams in the main event or 16, I don't think you actually have the time for the 16 teams. But I think, like, I would rather be more annoyed about the distribution on the money than the actual cut down. You have you have the 2 weeks, it's split down, and I think Wolf tried to make the best out of it. And with 16 teams, there's hardly BO3 formats that can ever work.
In terms of the prize pool you mentioned there, were you happy when the split came out? Like, what was your overall opinion on that?
I think there's 2 things that I really dislike, and that's first place to second. I understand that Wolf kind of wants to show off with first prize being that high, but let's say you lose a final 3-2, and the second place gets 3.5 million less than you. I mean more than you, the first place. And yeah, you're not going to be that happy about that. The other thing is, I think that like 8th to 10th should be distributed different, because it's just like the BO3 difference that brings you into 500k, and then you get 9th place and you get nothing. Like, the comparison is like night and day. So I would have thought, like, would have hoped that maybe you can cut off on the top, distribute better to the second, and then give a bit more to like 9th and 10th. That's like my solution on it, but I can still understand how Wolf decides on it. The bigger the better in a way. So yeah, you just have to deal with it.
So we're on day 1 here. There's still a lot more games to go throughout this week. Who, in particular right now, is there actually anyone you're kind of worried about? Or is it really just like a mixed bag of like, it's completely unknown? Like, is that how you guys feel right now? Or
I would say the most worried about are ourselves. I think we can actually win pretty much against anyone. So it's us that is going to fuck up the situation.
Now, it's been a long day. I'm going to let you shoot, but obviously plenty of fans out there, Fnatic, especially at ESL and here, just in the VIP area. Some huge cheers for you guys. And I think the community's really happy to see you at the internationals. So if you want to just give those guys a quick shout out.
Yeah, I mean, shout out to all our fans and supporters for this TI. I mean, it's been really great. And also shout out to Wolf, as they made everything possible happen for Era, that he feels good here at the TI event. And thanks a lot.
All right. Thanks, Annie.